callers and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Holy moly guacamole! Were you watching the Grammys last night? Well, we're live in Boca Raton, Florida at the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
They're not getting us.
Oh, should we redo it? Holy moly guacamole! Were you watching the Grammys last night? Well, we are live in Boca Raton, Florida at the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the AMP Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
This better This doesn't. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Monday. We are past April Fools, thank goodness.
They did a great job on Friday, though. That was the funniest skit. You know,
wasn't
you and I
that
were
funny.
getting ready to do our
It wasn't
thing,
that
and we
funny.
look up, and right on screen, it's our mini-me's, is all I can tell you.
So let's say hi to the radio board out because I don't know if they're getting our sound.
Good morning, Mr. Radio.
Good morning. We got it.
I
Did
guess
you
he's
hear
got
the
it.
heart open when we started or not, Mr. Radio?
We were able to hear him
Oh, perfect.
So why were you playing music, Mr. Radio?
because I didn't know if you wanted background music.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
is that what
was
you call
lovely.
it? Well, the background music was louder than the guy talking.
You know, that was lovely, because he had been practicing that, Ryan, for 20 minutes.
6 minutes. That turned into a half hour. What? I'm not getting him sass. I didn't know if it was working.
We're working. Well, good morning to you. Happy Monday, Mr. Radio.
Good morning.
Good morning. He is the voice
Background
of WWNN.
This is a new
He
one.
reminds me of your son.
15 years, and he got background music.
It was nice.
I've never heard of that before.
That's because he had a darty this weekend.
You know what?
A darty.
The hell is that?
Do you know what a darty is?
No.
Anyone know what a darty is? Mr. Radio, do you know what a darty is?
I do not.
A darty is a day party. So Cole's Crib had a darty, which is why Cole got background music.
Why would it be called a darty and not a day party?
Because they put it together. It's like
Darty is day
it's
and
like
night?
when you get married, you know, you put her name with his name and they get a hashtag. So hashtag darty.
You get married now, you get a hashtag?
Yes.
Get out of here. You're full of beans.
Right?
What is that?
100%.
Is that true?
You get married, you get a hashtag.
The woman gets a hashtag.
No, it's the couple gets a hashtag.
So if I marry somebody, it'll be Mr. and Mrs. hashtag Jones?
No, if you marry someone and you're Freddie and her name is Sue, so like Freddie Sue and be hashtag Fred Sue or something. Like Jen Ben and Ben Affleck, you know, they kind of.
This is normal for you.
No, it's
normal
not
for
normal
you
for me,
too.
but it's a thing.
It's a social media
Yeah,
normal.
It's a hashtag.
Really?
Hence hashtag darty.
No
day
wonder
party.
why divorce is up. It's like hashtag divorce.
I don't know about
What do
that.
you get? Hashtag the end?
Happy
when it doesn't
Monday.
work out?
I have to tell you what happened this morning. I was talking to a new guest, and she was so excited that I called her. She said she doesn't know how she stumbled upon our show, but we're like her new best friends, and she thinks we're funny. She says, I'm watching you, and the way you have these conversations together, I don't know if it's you, but you guys are really funny. And I'm thinking, oh, it's definitely a Monday morning.
She's a heavy drinker.
No.
Hashtag funny.
No. Do you have a nice weekend?
It was very quiet. I went to dinner at A. Alexander's. I got a gift card and I went. Very
Nice.
nice steak. I haven't had a steak like that. It lasted 3 days.
Nice.
It was picking up for 3 days. And then I just watched a movie. I watched the Tiffany.
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
I watched it. Do you know, when I went to NYU, I took a movie class like they do about old movies and the way it was put together and the reason why. And I missed that class that day. It was on a Friday, and I decided not to go. And I missed that movie because I didn't want to see it.
See?
And you know, that movie was all about, it was against the grain in the day. She was a call girl. He was a kept guy. I guess that's a call guy. And they showed a little bit of skin with a bodysuit, which in the day they
She
didn't
was
do
a
anything.
call girl?
She was a call girl.
No.
What do you think $50 for the powder room meant?
Really?
Get out of here. You know that.
No.
Yes, you do.
Are you serious?
Wow. Yes. That is the reason the movie was
It took me
made.
a little while to figure that out too, by the way, because I had seen the movie before and then I didn't realize that. It took me a little while. I was like, why is she getting home at this time? Why is all these weird things happening? And then I realized, yeah. So, but
It's-
I think he would be the equivalent of today's like sugar daddy.
Well, he was being kept by the rich married woman, and she was $50 in the powder room.
Huh.
And then she used to go see the mobster, and she used to get $50.
Oh, now I got to rewatch the whole movie with a whole new perspective. Really?
She was a call girl. Didn't you see the party she had? She had every John up there in the world.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, yeah, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. It's all I can say.
So I finally watched the movie from beginning to end, and it made her crazy, a little bit sociopath or whatever, that she was in that business. And then no matter how many men she had in the powder room, no matter how much they expressed it, she didn't feel loved. So that movie is the reason why when I went to NYU, they played it, and I never saw it until yesterday.
Gave you a new perspective on what we do?
It
Or
gave
on
me a better
relationships?
understanding about how people TikTok, how
Well,
their
and the
brains
quote
work.
at the end is really what the magical, right? Because he falls in love with her,
Right.
and she's pushing him away. And then I won't ruin the quote, but he says something along the lines of, you know, you're building this cage, you know, to keep everybody out. He goes, but what you're really afraid of is loving, and what you're really doing is just keeping a cage around yourself.
That's
You're
right.
really the prisoner. And so it was really powerful. I love that quote. And I remember after I saw the movie, I cried after that. I was like, oh my God, that was so deep.
Right? And then you would think back when it was made in 1961, empowerment, women empowerment was not a thing like it is
It
now.
was not. That's why that movie, it came out.
And for him to say you're keeping everybody out, you're not letting anyone in,
Right.
you're
It
hurting
wasn't
yourself.
an essence of a 1961 movie because in the day they didn't do that. And what is the song from the movie?
Moon River.
Moon River.
Oh, that's a great song. Yeah.
It's a great
And
song.
they played it 17 different ways, and she played it with the guitar. You know, she played it on the fire escape and sang it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh, you remember that?
I remember the movie. I just can't believe that's what she did for a living.
She was a call girl in the powder
See,
room.
those things just never occurred to me.
What did you think the powder room meant? It's like the
She was
champagne
just going to
room.
the bathroom, right? I mean,
The
girls go to
ladies'
bathroom all the
lounge, like
time.
in Neiman Marcus. Yeah.
It's like a champagne room. You know what the champagne room is?
A room where
Slick
you drink
Italian,
champagne.
slick.
Wait. A room where you drink champagne?
No.
Really?
Oh, jeez.
Guess I need a whole new
This is
education
like a Monday
of you.
morning lesson right here.
Slick a teacher, because I don't want to.
Like, so don't teach me on air.
No teacher on that.
Anyway, it was not too bad a weekend here. It was lovely. I went to a fundraiser yesterday with the Total Holistic Center, a longtime friend of ours, Dr. Anya Temer, and her husband, Ben. They had a fundraiser for Ukraine. They are both from Ukraine, so it is Ukrainian-American-owned business. And they had music and refreshments trying to raise money. You know, we don't get a whole lot of media until we got the influx yesterday of pictures again. And I don't want people to forget what's happening in the Ukraine because there is so much, they call it genocide, so much devastation, so many lives lost, so many homes lost, so many cities, towns, water, electric, ways of life that they were used to. And people are now starting to go back. I don't think they realize what they're going back to. So they still need all the help that they can get. It has not stopped, no matter how much Ukraine says we're taking back our country. There's so much devastation for what people are returning to.
I'm going to tell you, you can't forget what's going on there. He was on the Grammys yesterday.
Yep.
The atrocities that they showed yesterday and today, and it's making everybody sick, and Biden is getting closer and closer. I got to tell you something, you know, Putin, you stink. I won't say another word.
I know.
Okay, off the air, I'll tell you what I really think of you, but I got to tell you something. What's going on there is just unbelievable, unbelievable. In this day and age that we sit by and watch this. You know something, I know that we're all afraid about the nuclear holocaust that this idiot would probably do, but how much of this nonsense can you really take? bodies in the street with hands tied behind their, behind them and everything else. How can you forget any of this? Anyway, I don't want to harp on that. Wednesday, we are going to have the Ukraine deal here. I'm borrowing some stuff from Ken, and I'm going to be playing some of the music and stuff that he put in together. We have Oh My God Flowers, OMGs coming in. He's going to build a whole piece for the Ukraine. Anything that we can do to help, maybe we get a Red Cross number or something, because I heard they're going to go back in as well. It's just unbelievable this day and age that this nonsense, because this sheer nonsense is going on.
To see the atrocities again, but it's incredible how the president of the Ukraine was on the news yesterday morning. He had pre-recorded a tape for the Grammys. The Grammys we'll talk about on the 12 o'clock hour, but it's nice to see music and everyone coming together again.
It cannot be forgotten, and we have our flag back here, which I'm thinking of putting it up so you can see it better. It's just, it just hurts my soul. I can't even watch the news anymore.
You can't watch it.
It's gotten so bad. But if you don't watch the news, then you think everything is okay, or you listen to other people's nonsense. We are up to 127 people in Russia watching the show on Roku. I have no idea of how they're doing it, but I'm going to learn a little Russian for those people that are watching, and stay tuned, because we will tell you the truth. Simple.
You talk about a grassroots effort with us on Roku. It started with 7, I remember a month ago. We looked at all the demographics and there were 7 people in Russia watching us. Now we're up to, whatever you said, 100 plus. So one by one, hopefully we can make a difference in their lives as well.
That's right. And we have some breaking news. And next Monday at this time, hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, we will be on WCAP Up in Boston.
Very nice.
Which is very nice, and we're working on some other angles with them as well. This Friday, we have our first remote.
In 2 years, we're actually going live, back on the road, which is really exciting, for the Age Management Conference, Anti-Aging, down in Doral. So down in Miami, we're going to be there covering a gut health seminar, which people go, why are you doing that? But the information is so important to get out. We've got 500 researchers that are going to be there. This is brought to you by Boston Bio's Life, a good friend of ours, Joseph Krieger. And we're going to be there interviewing all the researchers talking about gut health, inflammation, supplements, all the things we talk about all the time, and being proactive and getting your health right on track instead of reactive and putting in medication.
And when you find out what they're talking about, you're going to be really, really shocked at just how little the public really understands what's going on. And if you're a diabetic, stay tuned to these interviews, because I'm going to tell you something. There's stuff that they're talking about. It's been around for years, and nobody has brought it to the surface.
You ready to get back on the road?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Absolutely.
It's been a long time, but it's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, you do one that's like off a bike.
I have to tell you, I was looking at the agenda. You're going to laugh. I kind of want to listen to some of the conferences.
I know, that's the problem. That's always the problem.
I'm really looking forward to doing the interviews, because the research, what they're talking about, to me looks fascinating. To really be able to share this with our audience, it's going to be incredible. So that's coming to you live on Friday.
And let me ask you a question. Have you looked at your Bitcoin accounts lately?
I have. I'm going to have to talk to our next guest after commercial break, because somehow I invested the money, and then I had another option of investing, and I talked to the Bitcoin master, and he said, yes, do it, I do it. Next thing I know, it had doubled. So I'm not really sure what that means, except it doubled and I didn't do anything.
It doubled and you didn't do anything. You made the move.
Yeah,
you got to make the move.
I know, but
if you don't make the move.
It's fascinating. So we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Karmic Currency author Sandy Fernandez. We're going to talk about all things money on Monday. So today is Money Matters Monday. Give us a call at the radio station. Write this number down, 888-565-1470. When we come back, we're talking about money, investing, empowerment, chakras, and money. So many things that are going on, and it was just a new moon. So karmic energy, let's see what's going on with this portal, because apparently April is a huge month for new things to happen with all the eclipses. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats And special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping! Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, social securities, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you.
Cool, calm, collected. Needing a drink to end a long day, or maybe to start your vacation right? Gubba Rum is here to let you kick back and do just that. Inspired by a technique that dates back to the 1800s, these artisanal, organic, and naturally infused rums are made from pure cane and the finest fruits, spices, and herbs the world has to offer. Gubba Silver is infused with naturally shredded coconut, and Gubba Gold is infused with real vanilla bean. Simply shake and enjoy. Visit gubbarum.com to find the nearest location to buy or enjoy. All establishments have personally reviewed and enjoyed firsthand the wicked smoothness of Gubba Rum. 35% ABV and 70 proof. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hillary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442 and remember drthc.net.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions, expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay. Her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. You know, tonight at 7 o'clock, we have a special coming to you live from WNN Radio.
Yes.
We have Gina Bella actually is going to have the lady who had that horrific deal, and she's going to be talking about it for an hour from 7 to 8.
So it's an incredible
So don't miss
story.
it.
A woman who grew up her entire life thinking she was one person up until her mid-40s. She did a 23andMe DNA test only to find out she was not who she thought she was, that she had been abducted as a child. So it's an incredible story, and how she's come to terms with it tonight live at 7, hosted by Gina Bella on WWNN. So check that out at 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and 1470 AM. I'm excited to bring this new guest forward. You know, as I go through, we look for different guests. I came across Sandy Fernandez, our karmic currency financial expert, helping people in their relationships with money. And I'm so glad you remembered how we met, because 9,000 guests ago, I'm always hoping that people remind us of how we met. And we'd never met you in person.
Not in person, no. I came through live through Zoom.
Hold
The
up your
first
mic.
time that I was on. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was on Zoom last time.
So welcome to our studio.
Thank you. It's so beautiful. It is really, it's sensory overload being in here. It's so gorgeous. All the artwork. I mean, it's just amazing.
So it is fantastic to have you. They call you the Money Angel.
That's me. That's what they call me.
How did you get the name the Money Angel?
You know, it was very magical, obviously, very serendipitous. I always had a very creative way to find sources for my clients to either make more money or acquire the financing that they needed in order to, you know, grow their business and have more success in the things that they were trying to accomplish. And one of my clients one day, he says, you know, every time you call me, he's like, you're like the money angel. He goes, you just get me money. And I'm like, fantastic. And after that, I just coined it. I said, you know what, I like it. And it's sticking with me. And so it's been really, you know, very magical how I help people make money and just find resources.
How do you help people make money? Is it all about their karmic energy and letting go of those old stories of lack?
It's a little bit of a combination of both, Dawn, and really my background is banking and finance. I did that for 22 years, so I have several licenses through the state of Florida, so that's really what I've always done. And then about 10 years ago, I started connecting a little bit more to the spirituality aspect of it. I got my yoga teacher certification, I became a Reiki master, and really started understanding what chakras were specifically, which for those of you watching who don't know what that is, they are 7 pockets of energy that every human body contains. It's pseudoscience, so, you know, stay with me. But that's really the concept of it. And then through there, I started understanding and seeing the connection and the relationship with money with my clients at the bank. So I started understanding a little bit more why people are a little bit more apprehensive towards maybe investing or acquiring loans, how people get themselves into debt, what types of lifestyles they're living. And that's really how the book was born. And now that's really how I help clients, not just on the analytical side, but also helping them understand where their own limiting beliefs are blocking them from moving forward, or maybe childhood beliefs too. What we know about money, we learn from our parents. So understanding some of those concepts, like most of us heard, you gotta work hard for money, and that stays with us. And then often you could be an entrepreneur or a business owner and you're just doing 50 million things, but might not necessarily be all generating revenue.
How do you help your clients? What is your ideal client?
So my ideal client right now is anyone who is having some levels of success, but is having some trouble maybe getting or reaching to that next level. And it's typically my clients come to me and they're like, I just feel stuck. And it's one of those things that you can't quite put your finger on. So if you're feeling that I just feel stuck, I feel like I'm doing all of these things, but I'm not getting the results that I want, then that's really the ideal client. That's really when you want to come to me, because that's when we're really going to start to explore the energy and really start to understand, okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. Tell me about, you know, what you learned about money as a kid growing up. And then we go into the strategy, but we start with always with childhood.
So anybody that you can anybody you could talk to that has a business going, you can help them by getting them to visualize and realize that it all starts with them. Back to that again.
Absolutely.
And then after that, when they're in the process, then you're able to find other means to grow that process. Is that correct?
Yeah. So in the ideal situation, let's say a client were to be interested with working with me, typically it's a 4-week program. So the first week we go through Mindset, we understand what your childhood beliefs are, you know, there's a lot of journaling that goes involved, and then we work through that. So we start to identify where these things are showing up in your life. And then let's say week 2 through 4, I identify the specific chakras that are out of line for you, that are considerably blocking you, and then I work with that energy and with your goals. So let's say you want to grow your business, or you want to hire more employees, or you want to get a loan or something to that effect. Then I work with that energy and I help you achieve those goals analytically. Because what happens is, for a lot of small business owners, they're getting a lot of mixed messages. So your attorney tells you one thing, set up an LLC because you need this, and then you go to the bank and the bank tells you something else, and then you go to get a loan and you meet with the business banker and the business banker says, no, you can't do it like that, you need to have your tax returns, and the business owner is in a paralysis. I don't know what I'm doing, everybody's telling me something different, who do I listen to? So that's really where I come in, more strategic, from that bird's eye view, and say, okay, this is how we need to align all of these things in order for you to get to where you need to get to.
But this is not woo. I don't want people thinking, oh, she's woo-woo. It's about chakras and Reiki, and I sit up in the full moon or the new moon and I meditate.
Well, I do all that too, Dawn.
I know you do. And suddenly, money comes from the sky. That's money doesn't. It takes work and it takes action. And chakras go back to your ancient Chinese medicine, I want to say, of healing and everything that God gave us. So how does that... You've got all the chakras in, so it's not just saying open your heart. You've got every single chakra in here that needs alignment.
Well, yes. Most people have at least 3 that are out of alignment. So the chakras are actually Sanskrit. It's actually from Hinduism, but it's all, Western, Eastern beliefs. But what's really powerful about it is, right now, and as we kind of evolve and things move forward, there's a lot of buzzwords, right? So people are buzzing about manifestation and manifest this and manifest your dream life and manifest your best thing. And I think that's where a lot of people get slipped up on, because for us who, again, have those beliefs of you've got to work hard, you've got to put in the work, and absolutely. But when you're tapping into energy, instead of saying it's hard work, we're tapping into what's called creating and creation. So if you're a runner, you get that runner's high, you're in the zone, that could be your meditation. If you're an artist, you get lost in your painting and your art, that's your creating. When you're in that creative and creation process, that's how you get the results. But that's your passion, that's your purpose. A lot of times people are unfulfilled. They're not liking their jobs, they're not liking where they are. So how do I find my purpose? How do I really find what I want to, what I want to be when I grow up? Maybe you want to transition.
It's interesting because manifestation is a word I don't use. People around here use it. I don't. When I was coaching in baseball, there's something that I found. It was a kid that I watched who used to go into the zone, and he was the better player. Wasn't the better person, but the better player. And then I began to learn that if I can get my ball players to buy into that zone, to achieve that zone, they will be better ball players. And we went from losing a lot to winning a lot. So the hardest part about what you're saying is for people to say, Coño, I got to believe this because it's real. It doesn't work unless you believe it. The Secret, the book?
Yes.
That was worldwide and everything else? A lot of people jumped into that zone. When you get into a zone, there's the zone and then there's that above the zone. So are you saying that your chakras will be the pathway to getting there?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because manifestation, and specifically when we talk about the chakras, manifestations happens in your third eye, which for those of you listening and you can't necessarily see me, it's in the center of your forehead, just above your eyes, just above your eyebrows. And this is clear visualization. This is where your intuition comes in. This is where you're able to see the things that you want, and you're able to visualize, okay, this is the house I want to buy. This is the business I want to have. This is the brand that I want. How am I going to carry this out? This is where vision boards come into big play, because you want to keep your goal constantly on the front of your mind, so that then you're going and you're moving into the other steps, which is creation, taking the action, talking about it, feeling it. And that type of a player, like you were saying with a baseball player, it is a visualization, and visualizing the success, visualizing the things that you want, and then you're able to take those steps towards it. Because it could be simple. Maybe you're manifesting and you want to manifest $1 million, right? We don't know where that $1 million is coming from, but maybe that's going to come to you from the lotto. But if you don't go out and buy a lottery ticket, if you don't take that action towards whatever it is that you're trying to get or create, it's not going to happen. Maybe you get lucky and find a bag of money, but it hasn't happened to me
doubtful.
yet.
what she's talking about, you do every day. One of the reasons that we have all of this going on, and she picked up on it, is because all of this is done on purpose.
Yes.
And we fill the house with music, and we fill the house with friends and food, and we bring in exactly what you're talking about. You see, there was nothing on these walls 2 years ago.
Wow.
This is all plain. And we've decided to put things in because this is the straw that stirs the drink. So what she's talking about, you've been doing every day for 2 years. You don't do it. Now you can tell when she walked into the room, everything changed. Did you notice that? Because she walks in a higher level. Did you see that or no?
No. But
No?
okay, I'm
Okay,
going to
well,
go
I
with you.
saw
I'm
it.
going to go with you on this.
And they raise the hairs on the back of my neck, and that says, okay, we got to find out more. But what happens is when you start associating with people who do this, all of a sudden it becomes contagious.
Well, when you operate at a higher level, a higher frequency, we talk about this all the time. But I want people to realize that this is real.
Yes.
This is truly attainable for your business. And now as things are opening up, this week for us, thank goodness, is an explosive week. We've got 3 new shows we're producing. We're live on remote on Friday.
Amazing.
We're doing Shark Tank
That's
judging.
because she was coming.
Shark Tank judging at a school on Thursday. But honest to God, when you called me on Thursday, we were out. Our crew kicked us out because they were doing an April Fool's Day prank for Friday. We did not know. They said to us, leave. For 2 hours, we'll let you know when you can come back. We said, okay. So we left. In the process of that leaving, someone booked us for this live remote on Friday. You called. I lost you because 3 people clicked in at the same
Yes,
time.
that's right. I remember.
Right? A new show that we haven't done in years is coming back. 2 new shows are starting tomorrow. And it was all within the space of your phone call. And I literally lost you because I said to you, I don't think my phone can take 3 phone calls at
See,
the
the
same
money
time.
angel strikes again.
100%.
100%.
That is 100%
But nobody
true.
would buy that because they would say, oh, it's coincidence.
We went out for ice cream and came back. We said, you guys aren't going to believe what just happened.
Yeah.
And they said, since you went out for ice cream?
Yeah.
We said, yes.
And you know what? What part of that, right? Magic, and I say it, in quotes, right, in the air quotes, because again, some people are very speculative and they're not really sure and they're apprehensive because maybe your mind doesn't work that way. Maybe you're a little bit analytical, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. It's not for everybody, which is why I tap into the analytics. But when you're connecting with that and you're working so hard, it gets to the point where there actually has to be an element of surrender. Because that's where the universe comes in. That's where the magic happens, in the surrender. So if you're that type of person that maybe you're saying to yourself right now, man, I'm working so hard, I'm doing all these things, and I can't catch a break, or I don't know what's happening. Every time I do something, I feel stuck. That's the moment where you take a step back and you say, you know what? Time is an illusion. One of the biggest mistakes that humans make is our ego and thinking that we're actually in control of anything. We're not in control of nothing.
It's true.
So we have to actually take that second and say, you know what? I've done all I can. And when you sit back and you surrender, that's when the energy of the universe catches up with you. It's like the ripple effect. You throw a pebble into the water and that ripple goes on, for miles and oceans, and the butterfly effect. They cause storms. So all of that, if you begin to see really what the energy is and you start to see it in that type of analytical place, it's easier for you to grasp that concept. But it comes from surrender.
You don't tell people what to invest in. It's not that type of relationship. It's more of opening the flow and surrendering to. I mean, you've got a list of everything that you work with within, and I do believe these are sciences. I believe yoga,
Yes.
chakras, manifestation, Reiki, all of these. This is what we're doing on Friday. We're talking about gut health, and they're going to all talk about inflammation and the exact same things on the scientific level. This is what you do with your clients. So they call you and they say, I'm stuck. I need more money.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes they need more money. Sometimes they just need help. Sometimes they, again, maybe you're making a lot of money. I can't tell you how many clients I have that make, great amounts of money and they're still living paycheck to paycheck and they can't figure it out. They want to invest. And I don't give investment advice, just for the record. I can tell you some strategies. I can give you some ideas. I can recommend you to someone who gives stock advice, but I don't do that. But I do more strategic planning. So I tell you, okay, this is number one. This is how you need to set up your accounts. Let's set up your 401k. Let's get you to, set up your LLC. Let's get you to accept credit cards, because no business owner should be accepting payments through Cash App or Venmo or Zelle. And a lot of times they don't know that. you're an expert in your field. That doesn't mean that you're dumb or you don't know what you're doing.
That is
But
true.
if a person is a nurse and that's all they do, they're not going to have the knowledge that I have 22 years. They're very skilled at their nursing. I can't walk into a hospital room and do an IV, or I can't even take your blood pressure. Like, I don't even know how to count the beats on a wrist. You know, that doesn't mean I'm dumb.
No,
It's
this is
you're
just
an
not your
expert.
wheelhouse. Exactly.
You know, success is not measured by money. The path to getting money will get you money. But if you don't have a path or you don't understand who you are, you're never going to get there.
Correct.
So success is not measured by money. I know people that made millions and were broke. Then they were miserable.
Yeah.
Because they were making money, they lost their wife, they lost their kids, all sorts of bad things happen. Why is it that bad habits are easy to keep and good habits are so hard to appreciate? Why is that?
You know, good habits sometimes start as discipline, and people in general, humans, we stay away from discipline because we're taught that discipline has to be uncomfortable. Like budgets, when I talk to my clients about setting a budget, immediately everybody freaks out. I don't want to go on a budget.
I don't wanna set a
Because
budget.
automatically they think that, oh, now I can't do the things that I love. But the budget is telling your money where to go instead of figuring out where it went.
That's
So how much more rewarding can it be to know where your money is going, which is a lot of the problem when people are making money. They don't know where it's going. They just swipe, and then mix in the credit card debt and mix in all the loans, and they can't figure it out. So that's part of, you know, all of that.
And playing catch up.
Yeah.
You can't go to Costco and buy everything.
Don't take me to Costco.
Don't take, you know, it's funny. There's a difference between a potato and mashed potatoes. And she just described it. You take all your stuff and you mix it, that becomes a mashed potato. If you do it correctly, it becomes a potato. If it's a potato, you can eat it and watch it. Mashed potatoes like all over the place.
Well, I want to ask you, so
I love
much of
mashed
this is
potatoes,
what
by
we
the way.
come from growing up. Right? We talk all the time about where you grew up and how you grew up and how your mother managed money. I know my money story's on the other side. So we know it affects us doing what we're doing. Is there a way to change that relationship or to
course.
open it up?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And that's really what it comes down to working with me, is redefining and reshaping a lot of those beliefs and understanding where they're coming from, how they're showing up in your life, and how to change that. Because it's not until you become consciously aware of something that then you can make the true change and form a new habit. For example, I don't know if you've ever hung out with a friend or something and they say, you know, you scratch your eye all the time. And you're like, really? No, I don't. And they say, yeah, you do. And all of a sudden they said that to you. Now it comes into your conscious mind. And all of a sudden you start realizing, oh my God, I do scratch my eye a lot. And now you become conscious, so maybe you won't do it. Or now you start observing, why do I do that? That's so interesting. I had never noticed. So really that's what that means, is bringing the subconscious into the conscious so that you can rewrite that programming so that you can make better choices. And obviously when it comes to money.
And not live paycheck to paycheck. I remember, gosh, when I was first raising the kids, budgeting was a whole thing. So it was, don't buy those expensive coffees. If you don't spend $4 to $5 a day on a coffee, how much money you will save at the end of the year. Now I read it last week. That's really not going to make the difference, because if you're not going to spend it on the coffee, you're probably not going to save it. You're going to spend it on something else. So now they're re-looking at all this advice they gave people 20 plus years ago, that it's not the savings, it's your mindset.
Yes.
And that's really what it goes down to. So if you're not going to save the $4, you may go out and buy it on 4 hot dogs.
Right.
And not have the coffee, whatever it is.
It's funny how I get the hot dog piece.
But we're not saving it, right? It's a different mindset that we have to have.
Well, and savings is also very subjective. And I kind of have this weird love-hate relationship with savings, because I feel that there's such a focus, and I don't want to name drop, but Dave Ramsey, like, I cannot stand the guy, really. Because anybody who is advising you to eat rice and beans and is telling you that you have to sacrifice and you're not allowed to do anything already has a poverty mindset and is already someone that I don't want to work with. I want to work with
But
someone.
he got to you.
He did get, listen, why am I not the next Dave Ramsey, okay? I'm working on it. But
Sandy Fernandez Show coming to you soon, live
yes,
from
let's do
WWNN.
it. Let's manifest it.
Let's do
I
it.
gotta tell you, you go to the doctor, you're feeling well for a checkup. He says you're dying. You leave the doctor, you're depressed, you're sick, you're coughing up things you never did before. He calls you up 4 days later. He tells you, I'm sorry, we made a mistake.
Placebo effect. Exactly.
I mean, it happens every day.
We had a host sit here 2 months ago, and Angel, and she said, my dream is to have a talk show one day. We said, okay, let's do it. She says, I don't know anything about it. I'm a hairdresser. I just know I need to get to the senior community. I have a lot of information for them. 2 weeks later, she started a show. She's got 3 sponsors that now pay for her show.
Beautiful.
She's on every other week, and she comes in here with a live studio audience on Thursday nights.
Oh my God, I love that.
This is her what? Her second month?
And she walks in the same level of.
She says, but I don't know what I'm doing.
But she doesn't know what
sat
she's
where you're
doing.
sitting
Yeah.
and said, this is my dream, is to reach to the senior community.
That's the next level that we
I
have to
love
now
it. I
teach
love
her
that.
to appreciate, not appreciate, but to sort of grow into what she's done. She's way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So
That's
we have to
beautiful.
fill that.
Let's
And
manifest
she probably
it.
stepped into her purpose. But I
Yes.
wanted to circle back really quick on the savings. I just didn't want to say that I didn't believe in savings, but I wanted to clarify. The reason that I have a little bit of a beef with that is because if you're saving money, there should be a purpose for that money. Because money is meant to flow. Money is not meant to stay stagnant or to be held captive into an account. So if you're saving money, you need to have a reason and a purpose for why you're saving. You just don't want to have a savings like the rainy day fund. I don't call any of my accounts or tell any of my clients to call it a rainy day fund because you're always then going to have a rainy day. So rename it. Save it for, if you want to go on vacation or your new Christian Louboutin heels or, a brand new Ferrari, whatever it is that you want to buy.
Guilty.
There you go. See? I felt it. I picked up on it.
Guilty all my
She's
life.
a clairvoyant too, by the way.
Yes.
Guilty all my life. My mother was the same way. My father used to say, you don't even let the money in the bank warm up.
Yeah?
But I get, when money starts to flow, I get sort of in that zone, and she'll tell you I'm starting to write all other stations. and
Ever
everything.
since that phone call with you on Thursday, it has
I
been
love
this
that.
Money Angel phone call that came. I don't know. You should all just call Sandy for a Money Angel phone call. Is what I'm thinking. You should just bill like
That's
by
a
the
new
phone
deal.
call.
I do have actually, it's a promo because April is Financial Literacy Month, which is when you and I spoke, Dawn. We were
Yep.
like, well, this is a great time to, do it because it's April and it's Financial Literacy.
Correct.
So this month I'm actually taking 60-minute calls. So if anybody goes to my Instagram, they'll find the link in my bio. So I do take 60-minute calls and they're fast. We get down and dirty. I mean, in 60 minutes, you will be mind blown at the things that I will uncover and tell you.
How do people contact you? Because I want to take another quick break.
Yeah, definitely. They can find me on Instagram at Karmic Currency. You can also find my website at Karmic Currency. So yeah, those are the best ways. And I practically live on social media, so I respond relatively quickly.
Contact her. 60-minute call. April is Financial Literacy Month, not just for women, but for everybody.
Yes.
English and Spanish?
Yes, absolutely. Hablo español.
We didn't talk about that.
Well, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about it a little bit more.
Okay.
Stay tuned live on WWNN. We will be back with All Money Matters Monday. We'll be right back.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Lady Ashley and this is my husband, Big John.
The muscle behind the hustle.
We are the creators of this very unique party planning business, Lady Ashley Party Planning. We are known for all the details. We specialize in gorgeous balloon decor, floral displays, and handle all of your party planning needs from A to Z.
Please feel free to visit our website at ladyashleypartyplanning.com. Our email is abpartyplanning@yahoo.com, and our phone number is 561-542-2296.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Then hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We'll get to your new bell.
This is hard.
All I can tell you, since you've had the new bell, though, things have been opening up. So I keep using that says ring for luck.
And there are two different tones.
One's for luck and one's for coffee. One's for a smile. So
It works. All right, and we're back. Want to say real quick that what we're talking about also is available to the Hispanic community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have Fuego 2.0, and we are actually moving in the Hispanic stratosphere.
Yes, and my book is available in Spanish as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
And the interesting thing about Latinos is that Latinos are great business people. Staying power is a little bit more difficult. And belief that you're talking about, if it isn't going to church and it's in themselves, is another tough challenge.
Yes.
But I am a firm believer in changing things because I like to give back. You know, I always believe that if you give back, it comes back. If you give, it comes back to you 6 times over. And that goes in time with I can't hold on to money.
Absolutely.
did you ever feel that way? So let's bring up Sandy also.
Always.
That you can't hold on to it?
I can't. But I already know it. So it doesn't bother me. It
You got to
doesn't
change
bother
that
me.
mindset.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. It's made, it's spent, it goes. And if you can understand the reason why, or you can't, if you understand me, or you can't, I will show you. I've been living the dream for 7 years.
But you're living the dream, so it's not that you don't hold on to it, is you live your life. Is that a different way of...
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting because I have clients like this where they say they're not able to really keep money, but money is abundant and is an abundant state. So for a person like you, Freddie, you're very likely very sixth chakra and very crown chakra. You're probably already very conscious, very elevated, so you don't have an emotional tie to money, which when people have that mentality of I got to hold on to my money, it's actually a scarcity mindset. Because it's a fear of being without. So you don't want to give because, well, if I give it to you, now I'm not going to have it. But when you shift that energy into a more giving, a more generous state, money is consistently flowing and you don't worry about it because you know it's just going to come right back.
That's right.
And it probably comes back Immediately. The moment that you give, it's like, oh, I got a direct deposit notification, or hey, we just signed a new client.
That's absolutely you.
She's
Yeah.
so funny.
But that's absolutely Freddie.
I know, but I never heard anybody say it to me.
You know, when door closes, he goes, "That's all right. Just means we got to get more."
Exactly.
And
And
no big
that's
deal.
the state that most people want to get to, but it's very, very hard to achieve, especially in the life that, you know, we live as Americans or as humans. You know, we're constantly bombarded with, you know, save your money, and then again we got this guy, rice and beans, and, you know, get out of debt. And it's very hard. You know, it's a toxic relationship with what your highest self and what you truly believe deep down inside, because most people want to believe that they're abundant and that they have wealth. And when you talk to really anybody, they're like, listen, I'm happy, I've got my friends, I've got my family, like I have everything that I need. You know, and that's the state.
They're rationalizing it.
Yeah, but that's the state you want to be in.
Yep.
That's the peace that you want to have. That's the frequency that you want to operate in. It's when you get lost in the panic. It's like we were saying earlier when the cameras were off. That's when you're caught up in watching the news and you're getting caught up in all this negativity and, oh, this happened and the bankruptcies are down and rates are going up, and you're all of a sudden your energy shifts and you start focusing on the wrong thing.
Let me
And
add,
you
before
step
we
out
have
of
to
that.
wrap up this hour, different for different generations. Like my kids' generation, I'm watching what they're going through versus our generation, versus our parents.
Mm-hmm.
What you do, is it different or?
The strategy is the same. The strategy is the same, really, because it doesn't really matter how or what generation, because the belief is there. So even, you know, millennials now, and my kids too, they're millennials, their beliefs are very different, but they're still learning from me, and they're still learning what I teach them, and we learned from our parents. So we're just passing it down from generation to generation. So the strategy is the same. Everybody's got the same issue.
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, think about, you could do this cross cultures, into the Hispanic community, cross generational, women,
Yeah,
overall, women in financial literacy. So many things that we've always talked about. And it's not saying invest in this, buy this. It's
No.
just changing your mindset.
Absolutely.
But the difference is you can tell when Sandy walks in,
Changes the whole
there's
frequency?
something different going on. Just, you know what, let us drink from your wine of knowledge, as Shakespeare once wrote, and check it out.
More to come. What's the best way for people to find you?
Thank you so much. So the best way to find me is on Instagram, Facebook at Karmic Currency. All the links are there in my bio. Like I said, just follow me, check me out. I post funny content, lots of, you know, funny memes. So don't think that it's all jokes. Sometimes I come in with the punches and I hit below the belt, because sometimes we got to get triggered in order to make that move. But
You got to get uncomfortable. What
Exactly.
did Anna say? Comfort zone, nothing grows. You got to get out of that comfort zone
That's
to
it.
make it grow. Stay tuned. We're going to wrap up this hour on WWNN, but we will be on the other side of this commercial break. Maybe Sandy can stay?
Yes,
I think we've got Dr. Hillary
absolutely.
Taylor joining us, more to come, and a new drop release from Kendra Erica. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you on the other side.
Stick around.
Bye-bye.
Well, that wraps up our brunch hour. But don't go away. Stay tuned for more laughs and cheers on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. See you soon.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff.
When you lay me down, I love the way you watch me. When I make that sound, all these possibilities, I feel it deep inside me. You're everything and more to me. This rapture has my body. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hard when you get me off. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. take you down to my crystal waterfall. Now you're standing tall. I feel it deep inside me. You're everything and more to me. This rapture has my body. My body, your beats in my brain, and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hot when you get me off. Your beats in my brain, and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hot when you get me off.
Where my money? Money. Yeah. Where my money? Money.
I'm talking about that stimulus check. Stimulus check. Got
money.
Stimulus check. Stimulus check. Where that stimulus check? Stimulus check.
Money.
Give me my stimulus check.
Money.
Girl.
No time for linger. Chain on my neck and rig my finger. 24 on the whip with tint up window. Come from the place but me and a sprinter. Girl said she love me style, said she name Linda. Fuck with me cash and me rise the incha. Up and burn me to bring passenger. Anything pop off then you know a danger. Hey, to the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make so we keep on trying. To the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make when it touching a foreign. To the sky, aim for the sky. I forget rich when it touching a foreign. To the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make so we touching a foreign.
I'm talking about that stimulus check.
Yeah.
Stimulus check. Got
Money.
Stimulus check. Stimulus check. Where that stimulus check. Stimulus check.
Money.
Give me my stimulus check. Girl.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873. Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Alana and I am standing in J&D Cakes over off of Federal Highway by Meisner Park in Boca Raton. And wow, does it smell delicious in here. Owned by Joel Basco and Daniela Borquez, they are the ones in the business as far as cakes. From weddings and birthdays, special events, holidays, novelty, and known for their sculpture cakes, you have to check them out. If they look familiar to you, you may have seen them as they were featured on Cake Hunters. They were the winner of Food Network's Cake Wars, as well as returners and finalists on their Champs episode.
Hi, I'm Joel and welcome to J&D Cakes of Boca Raton. We're right across Meisner Park and we're open from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come by if you can. If you want to order from us, please call us at 561-569-1860.
Providing music you will enjoy. JM Production performers will brighten up your stage. Condominiums and residential communities, nightclubs and restaurants that want to provide top quality singers and entertainers for their social events, banquets, celebrations, and their customers use JM Productions to ensure that they have an uplifting and beautiful event. Now, tune in for the show.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Remember? Last Friday?
Remember when we lost all the region?
Yes.
And welcome back. This portion of the show, believe it or not, is brought to you by Coffee News. Because all of a sudden, starting today, the Coffee News truck, there's a truck, did I tell you?
No.
Is going out and delivering
Coffee?
the coffee bags in the stands. And if you see them, just pick one up and give us a call that you bought one, take a picture, we'll put it on the air. And also the Boca News, we are now
Boca
official.
Magazine.
Boca Magazine. Dawn actually gets Boca Magazine delivered by her fans. It's amazing. I've seen things in my life, but never like that. And I'm gonna hide the page because if you call in and you tell us what page this is on, I'll give you lunch at our new friend, the chicken
Flybird?
man, the Flybird.
Flybird Char Grilled Chicken.
Yep. So if you call us up, I'll get you free lunch from the Flybird.
I need to set your womb back up because your room.
My
Because
womb?
Your womb.
Am I regressing into the womb?
No, you've got so many things that you're
I need a
running out of
bigger
room.
table.
I know.
I need that table here.
I got to bring that table back up for
I need that table
you.
here. I need bigger room.
You need more room.
table.
You need more room.
Spending, Lucy.
He does, as a matter of fact. We've got Sandy Fernandez joining us, as she was with us on the first hour, talking about karmic currency. We've got Dr. THC, Dr. Hillary Taylor in the house. So I'm so glad you're here because I'm going to nag you like a mom does and make sure that you call the other Dr. THC because I went to her fundraiser last night and oh my gosh, there's got such synergy there that this is, if you see her office, everything, it's sativa and THC and all the things she works with her clients on by prescribing, and then you can help on the other side of what you do.
Now, did you know
She's
that?
shaking her head,
Oh,
yes.
we're gonna be in contact.
Good. Yeah, because it's definitely a
Yes,
must.
that's something that's happening.
It's a must
Do
connection
you know
on
that
that
she
end.
has a logo?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
She put it on a cup. So why didn't she send me the logo so we could put it in our store? So now
that's a
it's
good
not
idea.
you anymore. Now it's Honduran for knowing that you had a logo. And if people want to
I didn't think it was a secret.
Well, your fans want
She
to
actually
purchase.
has 2 logos.
I actually have many.
Can I just have one?
Yeah.
Just one logo.
Of course.
Because your fans like to. You ever notice it all starts with you, Jordana Foster? They have their own cups, and people buy these cups and they drink the coffee while they're watching your show.
I
Makes
love it.
no sense to me.
I love that.
It's like you're literally drinking the Kool-Aid coffee and you're feeling this connection with the show because
And
you
this
feel
makes
like they're
sense
your
to you.
new friends.
Sandy, this makes sense to
Yeah,
you?
absolutely, 100%.
So I believe in intentional living, and my logo has mind,
shot,
body,
guys?
soul, spirit on it. So when you're drinking, if you're thinking about being present and nourishing your body and mind and soul, then it can definitely have a different effect on you.
You know that's totally up my alley.
Oh, see,
This
I'm
is
learning.
my soul sister, right?
Yeah.
This is-
We're learning.
This is destiny today, girl.
I love money and money loves me.
There you go. Money comes to me easily.
And it's funny because we've twisted Doc THC's arm, and maybe tonight at 6 o'clock with Sandy, they're going to do a duet at WNN. So that spot is full tonight.
Which will be fantastic. What
No
do you think
twisting.
You're going to talk about?
We're going to talk about manifesting money.
Done.
There we go.
Right there. Intentional living, living on purpose.
Absolutely.
Easy enough.
The money angel meets THC, Dr. THC.
Well, here's the great thing about Dr. Hillary is when you met her, you brought her into the studio.
I met her?
Yeah.
It was me?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me.
We talked on Facebook or Instagram.
Was it? I was looking for a doc, and you said, "Oh, come on, and I'll guide you."
She hadn't been really doing a whole lot of promotion, and she's so good at what she does.
No,
she's looking
she
for more and
did.
more
I
clients.
found her. I saw her because she did a reel or something.
Was my dog in it?
Yeah. I didn't know
Yeah.
if I should reach out to the dog or to you, because the dog was like very happy you were talking.
He was going to come in with me today. He's very excited today because he's by himself. I'm a part-time dog sitter. So he's tolerant. And we had an amazing English bulldog over the weekend. So he's enjoying his peace and quiet at the moment. And yeah, that's probably the reel that I did because I'm learning how to do reels.
Someone sent me a TikTok over the weekend talking about April is the month with the eclipses and the new moon just happening. April, not even May, April is the month to manifest and bring greatness forward. I don't know why, something with the portal, Dr. Hillary, and
Yes.
April and the eclipses, and you see.
So I know how Freddie loves talking about the portal.
But Sandy does.
Yeah, I love it. So
Oh yeah, I'm
let's
all
have
about
it,
the
'cause
I'm all about the
Aries is
portal.
the first sign of the horoscope. So it's the new beginning.
It's
Like,
the new
literally the new
beginning.
beginning.
It's water month. It's water for some reason. I've been getting a lot of messages from other people about the importance of water and immersing yourself in water, especially
Because it's a fire sign.
flowing water, like not stagnant water, to bring in the new and wash away the old. And yeah, I love this month. This is my month.
Are you an Aries?
I am not. I am a Sag, but it's a fire sign. So,
got it.
plus my big holiday is this month, 420.
Yes, Dr. THC.
That's my big
Set
holiday.
myself up on that one.
But that is also my 1-year anniversary for my launch.
That's
so
right.
I used that day to launch, and so this month, all of new clients will get a free first-time session with me to see if we vibe. I think that that's really important when you are meeting somebody when you're asking for help. Not everybody is equipped or fit to offer you that help, and you're not always able to receive it from everybody. I remember the first time I went into some type of therapy, and the woman looked like my grandmother. And I was like, I can't tell this lady things that I think about. Like, I'm embarrassed. So And that really is, that's
Definitely not about smoking weed either.
Well, I mean, not about a lot of things I used to do, but it's like, you know, you want somebody who you know is not going to judge you, and that's what I stand for. I am not judgmental. We're kind of built on shame and guilt, and I just take that away. I take that out of the equation. So, okay, without shame, guilt, and judgment, what do you want to do? Who are you?
I have to ask you a question about the shame and guilt. Do you think it's cultural to our culture, or do you think it's cross genders and cross cultures?
It's definitely more innate in our culture, and when you say our culture, I'm guessing you mean the
White Jewish woman, yeah.
Jewish women culture. Yes, I think that culturally we were told that family means everything, and this isn't just Jewish women, but family means everything. You live and die for family. So anything you do for yourself is selfish. And your purpose on the planet is to procreate. And anything that you do more than that is judged, is, guilt, because you're not choosing those things depending on how you raise your children. And if you think about it, it makes sense. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and they could have and almost died for their religion. So of course, they want that religion to live on. So therein lies the guilt of if you don't choose that lifestyle, if you don't choose to get married, have children, raise your children that religion, the future of the Jewish people is your responsibility.
Here's how you guys are so connected, right?
Right, and it's so interesting because it's living a life of sacrifice.
100%.
So everything that you do is sacrificial.
Yes.
Even from, like you said, having that guilt passed on that, your grandparents almost died, and look at all the sacrifices we made, and now you're ungrateful. And that turns in, like you said, to that shame and to that embarrassment, like,
and then you've got your money lack.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then we limit ourselves, especially as women, when it comes to money. And that was something that, when you go to school to become a therapist, you walk through a lot of therapy yourself.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we didn't cover was money. And the importance of looking at your own money story and saying, okay, well, this is what I was taught about money. And I was taught, you go to school to find somebody to marry.
Yeah.
Who will then make
We're
money.
gonna have so much fun tonight talking about this. Like,
I gotta tell you,
I should
30
be
minutes
taking notes so I can talk about this later.
Oh, we will, because this is something that I'm very passionate about. I mean, the idea that you can make money, but that is not why you're here on this planet. You're here on this planet to have children, and if you work part-time, that's okay. But if you work full-time, we're also going to shame and guilt you,
right?
Because you're not staying home raising your children.
Which, to bring that to the chakras, that is very second chakra, which your second chakra is where we create, and as women, this is where we create life, which is, tied to your sexual reproduction organs. This is where we have babies. And that specific energetic point is tied very much to shame. So that is a really, really, and for women, that is one of our strongest energetic
which chakra?
points.
Bottom up?
Number 2. Yeah, it's where your uterus is, where your
like
bladder.
Your solar plexus?
Yeah, just below the belly button, above your pelvic bone.
It's funny. My sister and I grew up in the same house. And I could see, because my sister is the complete opposite of me when it comes to kids.
Really?
Complete opposites. But I could see how my sister feels guilty. And she has to be the mom to Lisa. Not Frankie. Frankie's a man and he takes care of his business. But Lisa, no matter where she goes, Mimi's always there.
You see what I go through?
Mimi, I see what you go through. Mimi goes to to Lisa, her daughter's job, to find out if she's working. I said, no, you don't do that.
That's what my son would call helicopter mom.
But this is a jet plane helicopter mom.
That's the common phrase.
Yeah.
And I think, Dawn, you use the phrase crop duster.
You're
right.
a little bit closer.
And
than a
that's the
helicopter.
enmeshment. The enmeshment. And I think that when you going back to the culture, it's not just a Jewish thing.
Yeah.
I think it's big in the Latina community.
Yeah.
Again, look what we sacrificed.
Well, and I'm Cuban, so think about it. I'm first generation American. So, I mean, obviously not to be compared to the Holocaust, but we had to, you know, my grandparents had to flee communism. They left everything behind to give us freedom.
To give you a better life. How dare you not do what we expected of you? And so growing up with those expectations, what do I have, you know, as a child? How do I present myself? What do I have to do?
How do you please everybody?
How do I please everybody? How do I serve people? And at the same time, that word selfish, to this day, it has this negative connotation. And it's like, wait a minute, what about self-care? And that's why I talk about self-care so much, because it interrupts the selfishness. It's saying, I can do everything, because nobody can do everything, but saying I deserve time.
And having boundaries.
And having boundaries. And
Having
saying,
boundaries.
this
That's
is
one of your
my
favorites.
time. Absolutely. This is my time, and I can take care of you, and I can have a job, and I can take a bath in peace and quiet, and I can blast my music and jump around. And some things your children can be involved in, some things your partner can be involved in, and some things are necessary for you to have your own space.
You know, it's interesting because when we were at commercial break on the last hour, you talked about, you had your biblical reference.
Oh,
and I don't
yes.
want to rephrase, I mean, I want you to rephrase it as you want to. But how sometimes we have to leave this cocoon of family and those that knew us from where we were to really emerge and step into the passion of who we truly are, because people have these preconceived notions of us from birth all the way up, but that might not really be who we are.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I know that for me personally, I mean, I'm forever going to be 8 years old. Like, I'm forever going to be 8 in the eyes of my family. You know, I remember I went to a gathering, you know, families with some years ago, and they were people that know me since I was a kid. And I forgot what type of conversation I was having. And the woman who's friends with my family, she looks at me, she was like, wow, Sandy, you're so mature. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm 40. I mean, yeah, that was a few years ago. And he said, yeah, of course I'm mature. Like, I'm not 15. You know, I'm not a little girl anymore running amok and, you know, doing stupid teenage things. So they're always, unfortunately, family is always going to have that perception of you, of like that time that you threw a temper tantrum, you know, or that time that you slammed the door or you ran away, and that's embedded in the mind. So it's, you know, sometimes you need to escape that, like you were saying. You need to leave that and in order to really reinvent yourself and live your authentic space.
And that's why I moved. I mean, part of why I moved to Florida was because palm trees called to me. And there's one in the Fort Lauderdale airport at baggage claim. There's more than one. But right at the end of the escalator going down, there's a palm tree inside. And I can feel my blood pressure go down. But it's also a physical, and I've been told, and I also tell people that no matter where you move, you go with you.
Yeah.
So your problems go with you no matter where you move. And
100%.
I have moved a lot of places because of school and training, but when I moved away from family to a place that made me happy, I could finally not be that adolescent that pushed the boundaries. Some of the things that when I do go back to Baltimore, that I hear are, I don't want to say embarrassing, but I'm embarrassed for the person that says them. Like, oh, you're not married or have children, that's okay. You're beautiful, you'll be fine. Well,
it's a backhanded comment.
It is. It's like, oh, so that's my
Passive-aggressive.
purpose.
Let
That's
me
my
think why. Why does that even have to be said? Because
Why
here
does that
you are
even have to
empowering
be said?
people
I think
to
that
live
could
better
be a
life.
little bit of jealousy too, because like you said, a lot of women, and women in general, right? Not talking about cultures, but women in general have been suppressed, and we have been very oppressed from doing the things that we want. And for a long time, women were property, we were ownership. Like you said, that's your job. It's have babies, you don't go to work. And talking about money, women were never were allowed to apply for credit cards. Your husband or your dad had to sign the credit card for you. You had to disclose whether you were pregnant or not, because if you had a baby, now you couldn't pay that bill. So a man had to be responsible for you. So to some extent, I also feel that there's some jealousy of how come she gets to do that and I don't get to do that.
There's resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And I have felt it from family members.
Yeah,
oh,
but
it must be nice.
Their opinion,
Oh,
I hate that.
their opinion is none of your business.
And it's not under
But
my
for a lot of
control.
people, it is. But
Yeah,
for a
but
lot
you
of
have to
people,
be
it
able
matters.
to not listen to the noise.
Yes.
My father one day had an argument with my older brother when they were all alive. And he says, your brother's more responsible, meaning me, than you are. He was just all over my older brother. And I said, Dad, stop. I said, that's my brother. He is the head of us. We don't overshadow him. And my father stood quiet. And after that, everybody got along because I did not want to be placed in there. And ever since that argument, I don't care. What you think of me is none of my business. You
And
may
it's
like
not
me
a
or not
it's
like
not
me.
a game. It's not competition. It's not a comparison. I am who I am, and I have my own struggles. So for you to say, "Oh, it must be nice," or "You have it easy," or "You're not doing this," or you don't know what it's like for me.
Of course not.
And it's also, I do believe in the 4 agreements. And one of the agreements is do not take things personally. And I believe that once you learn that what people say about you says more about them than about you, your life just becomes so much easier. And you're like, oh, wow, I wonder what that person has going on in their life.
And it's sad because sometimes, there's that common belief too that children are property.
Totally.
But children are not your property. Children come through you. They don't come to live for you. So, parents need to start understanding what it means to raise children and to embrace children, to grow into what their little soul's purpose is, into their life, into their own independent person, and not be little robots, and clones of what we want them to be.
In the Hispanic culture and the Cuban culture for women, has it been harder for you to not only to be empowered, but to be empowered in the financial scope?
And as a whole, it really doesn't even have to do with Latina because banking is very male dominated. So many times, I was passed over or judged or, well, she's too provocative or she's too sassy or, of course, being labeled, a bitch because I have an opinion. And that's always been a problem, But in the Latina culture, it's a little bit more machista. It's a little bit more sexist, So there's always that, weird backhanded comment, oh, she's a girl, she's pretty. And then they think that, because I'm attractive or I'm good looking, that somehow I've used that, or slept my way to the top, which is a lot too, because women are very catty as well.
Absolutely.
So
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily think it's a male situation. You almost think about the other women around you of saying, why her? And then it's breaking away from all those stereotypes of growing up and being 15-year-old Sandy and 15-year-old Hillary to where you are now.
And I will say it's a very lonely world for women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
There's not a lot of celebration in our community, in the women celebrating other women. We talk about women empowerment, but under that, there is so much competition and so much hatred that it's like, I don't even talk about empowering other women. I empower whoever's a hard worker, whoever's honest, whoever's doing the best that they can, regardless of their gender or their race or their ethnicity. And it's like, all I did for 20 years was work by myself. A psychologist works by my friends, the people that I saw on a weekly basis were my clients or my patients. Like, those aren't my friends. Those are people that are paying me to help them. So it becomes, if I have an issue, who do I talk to? I can't turn to another woman and say, hey, I'm having a hard time, because then there's they're not as good as I thought they were.
Oh, we're having church now.
They
really,
don't
really
have
powerful.
it all together.
That's really powerful.
You cannot put prejudgment of someone else. It's like when I make a deal and people tell me they're not going to buy that. Well, how do you know that? Let them tell me that. Or you say a price and then you stay shut because first one talk loses. You can't sit there and say they're going to think, because that now you're living in your own space.
This is true too.
And we're not psychic. We don't know what other people are
Then
thinking.
don't do
I
it.
just had this conversation yesterday. a lot of, and I'm sure it goes both ways. I happened to be talking to a younger female, and she said, I stay awake thinking, what are they thinking? And I said, well, how's that working out? Like,
She's very tired.
You probably lose a lot of sleep because there's no way in any current world that I live in that you can come up with exactly what that person's thinking. No matter what conclusion you have, you will be wrong.
True that.
So I'm big about, you're a psychologist. Oh, can you read my mind? No,
You're not
dumb
a psychic,
dumb.
you're a psychologist. Big difference. It's Sandy, we talked about how people, it begins with yourself. And what you believe in is where you're going to end up. Now, why is it, I asked this question before, the bad things are easier to hold on to than the good things. I happened to meet you. I thought you were brilliant. I think you're somebody who now you know where I come from, can actually have a conversation about things that are going on inside with no fear of judgment, because I sort of know you a little bit better in the few weeks that we've been together. And I have no fear. So you hold on to that. Every time somebody brings up that noodle and says, you ain't, you know what, honey, you just tell them, yeah, I am. And they are entitled to whatever they want to say, as long as you don't run space in your head. Hold on to the good stuff.
Teaching other people to do that is, it's obviously easier said than done.
Of course.
So doing it yourself, teaching other people to do that, and at the same time, the other side of the coin is teaching people not to project that onto other people, because no matter where we are in our journey, I might not be at that point where everything rolls off of me, and something you said might stick, whether it should or shouldn't. I don't use that word. I say it must be nice, or it would be nice if that didn't bother me, and I work towards not having something like that bother me. But I say be the change. Don't try your best not to insult other people.
Honey, that is the sin that we live in now for everybody.
Why
If you
do
look
we
everywhere.
go around insulting people and breaking
But don't
people
ask
down?
the why. It reminds me of, they taught me how to tie my shoelaces. The story. Remember that? Remember the first time they taught you? My brother taught me. And he did the whole song and all that with the rabbit ears and all that. And I couldn't get it. It took me 3 days to learn to tie my shoes. Now I'm a pro. We never grow into this world knowing. We grow learning. Okay? And depends on what you think of past lives and everything else, you even learn from there. So just stay out of your head. That's the first thing. After that, man, I don't care what you think.
Well,
I really don't.
There's something that's called the law of mirrors, and the law of mirrors says we see in others what we see in ourselves. So when you're attracting, and interestingly enough, talking about manifesting, we're manifesting all the time. So we're constantly attracting the things that we either want or we don't want into our consciousness. So a person who is in that cycle of repeating over and over, or you feel that someone else is going to shame you or someone else is going to view you as something, then those are the parts of you inside you that you need to heal. That's the moment where you need to take that mirror and say, what's going on with me? Because if I think someone's going to judge me for this, is it because I secretly am judging that in other people as well, too? And that's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. Like they say, when you point the finger, there's 3 pointing back right at you. So it's, when you start living in that place of awareness, you can really start to heal yourself and become, like Hillary said, be the change you want to see.
Law of mirrors.
Laura, let's take a commercial break on that one. Absolutely true. When you look at someone, you see something, it's because you're seeing that reflection of yourself. So they say in that person.
Okay.
I know, not one of your things.
No, I've talked to people about the law of mirrors. I got kids in baseball teams whose parents, I used to have a mirror for every kid that played for me.
Different mirror, though.
It all starts with you.
It does.
Let's take a quick commercial break. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, or write in. Great conversations that they're having.
Save some for tonight.
Stay
will ya?
tuned.
Oh, there's so much.
We'll be right back.
Coming to a theater near you, a new musical you won't want to miss. Mario Lanza, His Life, His Song, celebrating the life of renowned tenor and movie star Mario Lanza. Starring tenor Ian Michael as Mario Lanza with soprano Maria Kesselman. Watch these award-winning operatic singers in a sensational theatrical evening of music, laughter, and drama. With 7 shows throughout London, don't miss your chance to see this spectacular performance in person, beginning March 24th through May 15th, or catch it on the Brooklyn Cafe's live stream on April 14th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit MarioLanzaMusical.com.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or 2. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Where my money? Money. Yeah. Where my money? Money.
I'm talking about that stimulus check. Stimulus check. Got money. Stimulus check. Stimulus check. Where that stimulus check? Stimulus check. Money. Give me my stimulus check. Girl.
No time for linger. Chain up on my neck and ring my finger. 24 on the whip with tint up window. Go from the place, but me and a sprinter. Guys said she love me style, said she name Linda. Fuck with me cash, I'm rising incha. Up and burn me, the bring passenger. Anything pop up, then you know what danger. Hey, to the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make, so we keep on trying. To the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make when it touching a foreign. To the sky, aim for the sky. I forget rich when it touching a foreign. To the sky, aim for the sky. Money have to make, so we touching a foreign.
I'm talking about that stimulus check.
Yeah.
Stimulus check. Got
money.
Stimulus check. Stimulus check. Where that stimulus check. Stimulus check.
Money.
Give me my stimulus check.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Bro, you went to the bathroom for 5 minutes. Are you serious? I have never taken such a fast piss in my whole life. Glad you made it back in time. I like to downplay a lot of shit, but this is it's a big deal. Damn. Thank you, everybody.
That was put together by Slick. Did you watch the Grammys last night?
Who was that?
That was Doja Cat.
Oh, Doja Cat.
I should have set the scene, but Doja Cat went to go use the bathroom, and they called her name for.
So she had to urinate very quickly.
Yes, but no, she sprinted from the bathroom.
She left the whole trail.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Like, would you go to the bathroom if you knew the award that you were nominated for was coming up? Would you go to the bathroom?
It could have been nerves.
Yeah.
Or do you wait?
I
don't know. And there she is. There she is on screen, like adjust. She turns
thought
around.
she was gonna pee her pants just from the excitement.
Yeah, she should have come in with a toilet paper roll behind her.
That's what I would have done.
Totally.
I would have put it in my dress and just let it. That's right. That's what I would have. Well, that would have been.
Did you see the awards last night?
I did not. I forgot all about them.
Did you guys see them?
No.
I forgot all about. I was supposed to. I also
forgot.
had an 8 o'clock Zoom call. I was supposed to.
You forgot that too?
Sunday night.
I did see
Don't
the
plan
awards. I have to
anything
tell you, I was kind of hoping you didn't see the Lady Gaga sing to Tony Bennett.
No, but it's all over. I can download it and play it. It's all over the place.
I mean, you talk about how he mentored her, and she didn't say it, but you could just tell in her delivery of
Changed-
it, and at the end, how much she missed him being there.
Changed her life.
And he truly did. And when she sang to him, and you see it was gonna make me cry when you see the video.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
And she also did something for Liza Minnelli, right?
She did that
That was
last
at the
week.
Oscars, I
Yeah.
think,
At
right?
the
Yeah.
Oscars. Liza Minnelli. I
Oh,
heard that
nobody's
was
talking
another-
about that though.
Why?
The Oscars.
Because there's Will Smith.
Guys,
And
let's put everybody up.
that's what we're talking about
Yeah,
these
but
days.
you know what? Will Smith was at the Oscars. The Oscars is not Will Smith. It's two different.
I
He
keep
resigned
it-
from the
preaching.
Academy.
He resigned from the Academy and he's seeking some help. I read somewhere. He's seeking some anger management help. His current marriage also is creating some very serious. You know, if you look at the pictures and where they're sitting, there's a lot of separation between them. They took a family picture. Who's the chick with the sunglasses between him and her? And he had his son on his left. Just a lot of body English is what I'm saying.
Interesting. But it was an interesting show. A lot of music. It was really nice to see the music. See
Album
everyone
of the
come
year,
together.
did you see that?
Yes.
The guy from the show, from the talk show? I was shocked. In Slick and
John
Nice.
Baptiste.
Yeah, I don't know how that became Song of the...
Slick was saying he was nominated for 11 awards. I think he won 5 of them. And they actually spotlighted him yesterday on CBS Sunday Morning. He and his wife, no one knew they were married, and she is battling leukemia for a second time at a very young age. So
I didn't know that.
So very sad. And he has been there for her, and for her second treatment is they got married right before she went in for the transplant, I guess a bone marrow transplant. So she couldn't be there because she's so immunocompromised. He can't be anywhere around her. But a young woman to be suffering from leukemia again. And when he was nominated, she was in the middle of treatment, they said. So there she is battling treatment for her life in the chemo room. And his phone is blowing up with all these texts of that he was just nominated and what it's like to be in 2 separate worlds, dealing with 2 separate things, but yet coming together with their greater purpose. And all the music that he would write for her every day, because he couldn't be with her for treatment because she had to be really kept safe and secure. So he would write her a lullaby, they call it, every day and send it to her.
And the 19-year-old girl that won also, she cried up a stage on there. That was a hit. And you had the Ukrainian president sending a tape deal about keep the music going.
Because I think Odessa is well known for their opera house. And they're doing everything they can to protect this opera house. And they did not think that it was going to come under siege, Odessa. And if you see, oh my gosh, I can't think of who it was, but he brought up Ukrainian performers to be with him.
Yes,
John Legend.
John Legend.
He brought up, and people had just come over from Ukraine. There was a woman who played the harp, and she was from Odessa, and a singer and a poet to be part of this, to still bring awareness, because music is universal, music is worldwide. We talk about that all the time. It doesn't even matter if you understand the words. It's the feel, it's the, right?
Yep.
It's the energy, it's the flow of how it makes you feel.
Grammys were pretty good.
So a lot of new music and a lot of respect. Everyone was respectful, and that's
We're
what's
back to
really
that again.
That's nice.
That's because the academies had slug them out.
I don't even know if it was that also, but it's nice to see people respect each other in the same field.
Okay.
And
I
be
wish there was
supportive.
more of that.
Well,
I
it
just
kinda
think
goes
it's
with what we're
think
talking
it's
about.
sad that we actually have to acknowledge the fact that people were respectful.
Right?
I mean, there's a problem there.
That's not the
and
norm,
me
right?
personally, right? Like, why are we even celebrating the fact that people were respectful to other people? Like, that should just be, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. So I think that's just a testament to, unfortunately, the times that we're living in that we actually have to acknowledge. Like the mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is also a training now that's very popular. And I'm like, guys, do we have to really teach people to be mindful?
Well, I think that also goes back to COVID when we had to teach people how to wash their hands. You know, there are certain common sense is not
Yes.
common. There are certain things that not everybody learns, regardless of their circumstances. But yes, some people have to go back to the basics and learn how to wash their hands and learn how to breathe and learn how to be mindful and learn how to be respectful. And I think it goes back to what are we teaching?
Yeah.
What are we teaching our children? What are we teaching each other? How we treat each other? What are we mirroring for our children, for other people? You know, people are watching you,
Yeah.
even if you don't think they are.
Yeah.
So even how you act in the grocery store, there are some grocery stores I won't go in.
Really?
And they're not in Boca, so I can talk about them. But there's some grocery stores I won't go to because of the disrespect that the customers have for each other.
I have to tell you, Freddie was talking about grocery shopping last week. I think I might have to go on to where you buy groceries because my grocery bill over the weekend
I keep telling you.
was
It might be, well, the place that I'm thinking is closer to Freddie.
Was
so I hope it wasn't the same place. he's saying.
unbelievable.
I
and
go
it's
to
just,
Walmart.
It's just two of us,
And they
that's-
know me there.
The
and that doesn't
neighborhood,
include dinner.
the neighborhood store.
No, the big one. the
Oh,
big
you go to the
Walmart.
big one.
Yeah.
I can't even believe what groceries are now
I
costing.
keep telling you.
Well, that's inflation, you guys. That's
Oh
inflation.
my
This is
gosh.
going to
Yeah, but
continue to get
Walmart
worse.
is still way cheaper than the other place,
Yeah.
which I don't want to name.
Holy
And
smokes.
Walmart neighborhood supermarkets, I think they're called, are, I mean, they have everything you need. Like, why do you don't need to go to Publix for everything?
Well,
I mean,
go
I
to
do,
different-
but
I go to different places for different things. I go to Winn-Dixie for meats and chicken. But Walmart has this sale now on certain chicken pieces. I get it there. I get stuff like milk from Walmart and
Right.
cheese because it's cheaper.
Right.
But I go to Albies to get canned goods.
Yes.
Like, I don't just go to a place. I go to
Yes.
multiple places.
You
then
and
I
my
get-
mother,
I get a
you-
hot dog in between or something, you know.
yes.
I don't think I can
And
do
I
that.
think about how much gas I'm wasting going from one place to the other, so I just
But
go
they're
to
all
Walmart
within-
and get
they're all within-
everything besides
They are all
my
very
produce.
Close, very close. If you come to where I live, you're going to say, wow, it's right there, right there, right there, right there, right there.
But I have to get back in and out of the car multiple times.
Yes.
I get
Well,
my
that's-
groceries delivered.
I
Well,
do
that's
too, and
another
that's when I saw the price.
I get some of
went,
my groceries delivered, but now if you put in that you want something, they're like, yeah, that's not here.
Right,
Yeah, there's a lot
there's
of
a lot of
things they
things
don't
out of
have.
stock. Yeah, there's a lot.
So
A lot of things
But
they
for
don't
me,
have.
it's more
I'd rather
convenient,
go.
too. It's convenient.
Well, when you go shopping with me, it's not. It's having fun.
Well, yeah, that would be an entertainment. Like that could
Your
listen, we
entertainment,
could do a
Freddie.
whole segment. You know, did you see that?
I have
Was
fun.
it, what's his face? David Letterman. He did a whole thing when he had that Netflix series. And he actually went with, I think it was with Kim Kardashian, and they went to like the CVS, and they went on this adventure, and it was hysterical. Because imagine, David Letterman and Kim Kardashian inside of a CVS does not happen all the time. So they were normal people, and they had this whole experience. So Freddie, we could totally bring a camera crew with us
You take a bag of
and
grapes.
just go to,
You eat
go
the grapes
grocery
around?
shopping.
You open up some cheese. You get champagne or wine, whatever you like.
Oh
to
wow,
drink.
you go all
And you go
out.
up every aisle. So the guy comes over
Actually,
and
I
says,
open the beer. It's easier. I have
Well,
a bottle
if you
opener on my
want beer,
keychain.
You guys are
if you want beer, I'll give you a
Yeah.
straw. It's even better.
Shameless.
But the manager came
With a
over the
straw?
first time. He says to me, "You can't do that." I said, "Why? I'm going to pay for it." He says, "Yeah, but you shouldn't do it in the store." I says, "Well, you want me to do it outside the store, or you want me to shop?" So I go up every aisle. People are saying, "Wow, that
That's
looks
very
like a good time."
nice.
My sister used to love going shopping with me.
I
Because
get a
it's more
drink.
fun.
Usually I get a
Put little
drink.
music.
I play I have it in my ear, just one ear pod so I can hear if somebody's yelling at me to get out of the way.
No, I get to go around me.
Well,
Now, the nice
yeah,
thing
not
is when
everybody
people-
can do
when
that.
People know you or they see you and they go, "What are you doing?" I says, "Do you want a grape?" And they go, "No." I says, "Then mind your business."
Freddie's got his charcuterie board out.
Exactly.
I love it.
shopping
I
cart.
mean, I dance down the aisles and other people dance with me, and it's usually Michael Jackson because I have found that Michael Jackson doesn't offend anybody. So yeah, I blast it. Sometimes it's on the speakerphone, like sitting in my purse right in front of me, and other people dance and
Do you
sing.
talk
and
to strangers?
oh, I talk to strangers all the time. They talk to me. I don't talk.
That's the fun part about
I
it.
talk back.
So they
She
initiate
responds.
the conversation.
I respond. I have heard that so we're both big energy people, and I've heard that when you have high vibrations, both animals, children, and all animals, children, and strangers will approach you.
Yeah, they're drawn to you.
And I have found, and people in my neighborhood, that's why I dog sit. People are like, we don't understand why every time we walk our dog by your house, they pull us towards your house. And they're like, what do you do with them? And when they come home, they're so much different and better. And I'm like, I don't know. I talk to them. I sing to them. I don't know what I do. Yeah, to the dogs. Well, I live
Sing to your cats?
alone.
All the time.
I live alone, so who else am I going to talk to? They don't talk back. They're great. They're amazing. Unconditional love.
What kind of a dog do you have?
Absolutely. I have a Victorian Bulldog.
Oh.
He's my baby. And he, if you have this high vibration, like you said, you attract people, and people think that I can help them. I have heard people's whole life stories.
Oh, yeah.
In line, the pharmacy, they're telling me what medication they're taking, and I'm like, I didn't ask. But yeah, people
need to talk to people.
People need to talk to people. People need to connect.
Me?
Dawn has never been to Costco until the other day.
I had been. I had just stopped for many, many years.
Okay. So
You had to
I'm
stop.
corrected.
I had to stop because I was
So tell
spending too
about
much
the lady
money.
that was coming down with the big box.
So there's a lady coming down. We took the crew for hot dogs because $1.50 hot dogs,
Nice.
right? And then they went for a second round of hot dogs.
Best hot dogs.
That's what Freddie said. Then there's a lady walking down with a big white cardboard box of spring rolls. So I stop her and I say, "How long is it going to take for you to eat all of those spring rolls?" And she says, "I didn't buy spring rolls. I bought this and this." The box was an empty box, apparently, that she was going to put everything in.
Because they
before
give
she
you.
She says, "But let me tell you about
empty
Costco."
boxes.
She tells us her
She
life.
says, "I started going to Costco when I first got married, and it's just the two of us. I got the whole life. And then I raised my kids, and I got the story of how Costco helped her with her kids. And then now she's divorced, and now how she enjoys Costco as being a single woman, and what it's like for her now in this next stage of life, and why Costco has been there for her her
This
entire
happened
life."
in 5 minutes.
Right?
That was amazing.
And
She
by
should
the way,
write
I don't
to
need spring
Costco.
rolls. She should
Costco
write to
could
Costco.
totally, pay for her.
I'm wondering, as a single female to another single female, what does she get at Costco? Because there's other than paper goods, there's
She had no paper goods.
No, she had stuff.
There's absolutely nothing that I can buy in Costco. I don't have enough room.
She said she'll buy
Yeah,
a
me either.
pizza. She invites her girlfriends over. They eat half of it. She freezes the rest for the
And
rest
you
of
can
the
get
week.
chicken. You can get coleslaw.
Yeah, but it's like industrial size.
Yeah,
No,
nobody
they have
needs
regular,
that much.
They have regular
Yeah.
foods. And if you get paper toilet,
Yes.
Toilet paper.
Yes,
paper.
toilet paper,
I'm sorry, I'm Latino.
napkins,
You
paper
could,
towels.
you
those
could bring it and
things.
sell it $5 a roll to your neighborhoods, your neighbors. They will appreciate you.
So the crew was cracking up that we got all that.
My
All right.
neighbors would not appreciate
Before we wrap up
that.
today's
If
show,
any of my
though,
neighbors
since
are listening, I am
we've got
not
a
selling toilet
clairvoyant
paper.
and an energy worker, and she helps people. And I am, by the way, an Aries.
Oh,
Don't
beautiful.
fall.
It's
You read.
exciting.
You read.
You don't have your glasses?
I do, but you do it. You need your glasses?
No,
That's
I'm
right.
good. I just got to
Dawn's
find the
birthday was-
horoscope.
In the back.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was. All right, who are we starting with?
Aries?
Hillary, what's your birthday?
I'm a Sag.
You are a Sag.
I'm a Sag.
Wow, Freddie, you never let me read this.
Today's your turn.
Are we doing horoscopes?
Yeah.
Here's your
Oh,
horoscope.
that's so fun.
Brought to you by Coffee News. You're not even going to believe what this says, Hillary. Mothering may be a focus right now.
Yeah, you're going to have a child.
This may be
Not unless it's the next Jesus.
could mother
from your
yourself.
perspective
Yes.
or a mother or a child. Either way, being aware of it is important to help you navigate through this time. We just talked about that, right? Mothering, the guilt, all of that stuff that we carry.
Absolutely.
And there is your horoscope brought to you by
Absolutely.
Coffee News.
I love it.
All right, what are you?
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh, you and Alana in the other room. Let's see. Have you previously relied on your intellect and quick mind approach life's challenges? I need my glasses. It may now be appropriate to incorporate a more nurturing style towards yourself and others. And then your lucky numbers.
Ooh, what are my lucky numbers?
4, 25, 31, 32, 40, and 45.
Nice. Well, my birthday's the 31st of May, and I'm going to be 45. So
There
those
you
are
go.
good numbers.
Have you previously relied on your intellect and quick mind to approach life's challenges? Yes, that
Yeah,
is
all
all
the
part
time,
of
every
who
day.
you are,
Every day.
right?
Quick wit.
quick wit, your sensory, all of that.
Yeah.
These are always so right. Me? I think we're going to read you next.
What sign are you, Freddie?
Pisces.
Ooh, Pisces. We've got good flow. This makes a lot of sense.
At the beginning of the week, you may feel out of balance between your head and heart. Wait a few days and the feeling should pass. A new perspective is possible.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, Freddie, no?
Okay.
We got Libra in there. Libra, here we go. This is Slick. You may find your mind and emotions are out of balance this week, Slick. Previously submerged information about an old wound may surface, helping to provide insight into the situation.
Slick
He's
in
laughing. I don't know
Boston.
what that means.
Boston.
Here's mine. This week you may be provided a new opportunity for change. A teacher may appear who can help you with an issue that has been unresolved for a long time. And there is my money issue, and there she sits.
Ta-da!
My money angel.
You're funny.
Revelation. Why? You never know,
You never know.
right?
Yeah. Listen, of course, it's what we're attracting. And, what's powerful, right, with the horoscopes is that a lot of it is subjective, but then you'll create it. Because you'll start thinking about it, and you're like, you know what? That is true. I did have a problem, and I am looking for somebody. And now, like I said, it goes into your subconscious, and now you are subconsciously, consistently manifesting and looking for that person who will then, like magic, show up. But really, you've been attracting it the whole time.
You're always intuitive. You just talked about the mothering, the
Yes,
guilt.
but I will tell you, no matter, I'm not manifesting it at all, but there's no mother, other than a puppy, potentially.
Nurturing.
Mother could be lots of
nurturing
things.
is what I mean.
Nurturing, and we both had nurturing in our...
But mother could be lots of things. The trick of it isn't hearing it. The trick of it is seeing it when it happens.
Yes.
Seeing the sign.
Yes.
And a lot of people miss the sign. And then you sit down.
I just wanted the audience to know.
No, I feel you're more of a
You're
nurturer.
not pregnant?
Not pregnant, not going to
But
be. And if anybody would like to practice, I'm open.
To being a mom?
No, to
Practice making a
practicing
baby.
Making a baby.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
the
Having
fun
a baby,
part. That's
I
the
think
fun
we're
part.
I don't know.
This
I
show
think
just
fun
went
part.
to another turn here.
And on that note, guys,
I'm just putting
Listen,
it out
that's
there.
the second chakra. And when I work with clients and that energy, that is the homework for the week.
And I'm more than happy
Yeah.
to go to Costco if there's 2 people to feed. So
there you have it.
Right? And that's the news for today, ladies
One
and
and
gentlemen.
one. And there's your hot
Brought
topic
to you
for
by
today. Coffee news.
The coffee news. Give Joey a call.
spot here, guys.
Give Joy, oh boy, you created a mess. Joey, give Joy a call, 954-951-7870, and get in the coffee news. Do we have anybody new in here?
Nope, I have Diana coming on Wednesday, so I'm going to give her a call, a Medicare specialist. She's going to do a virtual interview with us.
When you take an ad out with Joy, you get to spend some time with us, because here's Dawn in the news. Good friend, good people, nice connection.
More to come. Ready to wrap this up? You guys are going to be on tonight live on WWNN.
Yes.
6 o'clock.
Tell Us Your Biz with Dr. Hillary Taylor. And we're talking money, karmic energy with Sandy Fernandez.
Well, they're going to be talking about a whole lot of things.
You guys have 27 minutes, so.
Oh, that's gonna fly by, girl. We're gonna have to get real clear.
Because you've been with
on
us
what
for
we're
2
gonna talk
hours.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll come back. It's all good.
Sounds great. All right, ready to wrap this up. Thanks, Slick, for putting that together for us for the Grammys, and Cole for that heart open. We have a new jingle coming out, which is really, really
That's what they
good,
were in there talking about.
which is awesome. So stay tuned for that. Have a great Monday, everyone. All Money Matters Monday, and we will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
I go now to fill my mug, which is completely empty. I'm coffee out.
Your cup runneth over.
No, company dry.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other. Tune in for all of our other morning shows coming from Amp Media Productions, and then our afternoon show at 12 o'clock.
And always join us for more fun and laughs, because your day starts when you smile.
Have a great morning, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.